Roughly a couple of weeks ago, I came across a survival game that uses inspiration from the game that we all love and learn to accept for what it is. Despite its unstable frame rate and inconsistency, but nonetheless, it's taking the element of the game that works perfectly fine for what it was made for and builds upon that element alone. Ladies and gents, let's take a look at No One Survived, and most importantly, determine whether it's something you should invest your time and money into. Just a disclaimer, I did not get this for free, nor was I paid to say anything I'm about to say. So with that being said, let's dive in. First and foremost, what should you expect out of this game? This is an open world zombie survival game that is very much similar to 7 Days to Die, or at least as far as hordes of zombies attacking you every 7 to 10 days. Now you can change how many days it will take for them to attack you. The bottom line is that you scavenge for resources within timely manner, of course, and then you must defend your base on that certain date. Now unlike 7 Days to Die, this game has dynamic weather effects, which means you will experience all the seasons in the game regardless where you decide to settle in. As you might already know, 7 Days to Die is divided into different biomes, winter being the most challenging, so players that want to have more casual experience, they would have to avoid winter altogether. Whereas in No One Survived, you're sort of forced to experience all the seasons, which is something I personally love. Now, since No One Survived is built in Unreal Engine 5, expect the shadows and performance of this game to be on an excellent level compared to 7 Days to Die, or slightly improved to say the very least. The physics are very much similar to 7 Days to Die as well. Now, it's not as complex as 7 Days to Die, but it is very much similar. Meaning, by placing foundations in walls and not having pillars to support your walls or ceiling, a simple misguidance in building will result in your building collapsing at some point throughout your gameplay. And it's mainly because due to unstable support. No One Survived is using a unique PvE game style by offering trading outposts along with some advanced leveling system in the game. Now, you can host your own server or join somebody else's, but do keep in mind the multiplayer currently is very clunky and unstable. If you easily get frustrated due to the game breaking issues, which is completely understandable, then do not buy this game for multiplayer experience only, or at least wait a little bit longer until it gets further into the development. Even playing on solo, I've experienced some terrible frame drops, especially in more populated areas in the game. And do keep in mind I was playing in performance mode, which leads to my next point. The game is poorly optimized. Now, it is an early access title and it has been only roughly 3 weeks ever since it was released on Steam. However, it is still worth mentioning because the game is very poorly optimized and it's very noticeable. Some even say that the game is too advanced for its current state. Also do keep in mind the game is made by a Chinese developer and the translation isn't the best and still requires some work. For instance, instead of saying apply, it will say application. Some words will not be translated at all, and you will have to second guess what it means. The potential of No One Survived is certainly there, and I see how the game can grow into something truly amazing. However, the current state of the game, as much as it hurts me to say, it's pretty awful and requires some serious work behind the scenes. The game's tutorial is pretty useless as well, and it's very limiting. It serves the purpose of a shooting range even though it was intended to be a tutorial, but it doesn't really teach you anything that the game has to offer, as far as the gameplay goes. Which leads to my next point, the game doesn't explain anything to you. Instead, it just throws you in and forces you to learn everything on your own. Now, some things are a lot more simple to learn than others, but you will certainly have times where you spend 20 minutes just figuring out how to achieve a certain skill level, and it can be very confusing at times. The wildlife in this game is pretty terrible as well. Most of the time, deer and wolves will act very strange and robotic. Do keep in mind wolves can easily break your car. I personally never had experience with them hurting me through the car, however, they can destroy your vehicle fairly quickly. No One Survived desperately requires optimization for its current state. I think the next few patches and updates should certainly be aimed towards optimizing as well as improving the game's current state. Once again, it is early access, so I can't be too critical of this title, but since many creators seem to hype this title up trying to convince others to try this out, I think it's only fair for me to address the current issues that come with this title as well. So far the concept is looking good and promising, but it requires some serious work. And what good does it do when the game sounds too good on paper but performs terribly? It just defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it? I'd say keep your eyes out on this one, but it's completely understandable if you'd rather just wait it out until it receives more love from the developers. You know the drill. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, despite how you feel about this video. Subscribe for future content like this. And as always, this was your boy Roos, and I'm out. Goodbye.